Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name is Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Zhang versus Joyce goes down this Saturday night. It's the rematch. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Now, there's a lot of people looking at the first fight and they're thinking the same thing's going to happen again. I don't think it will. I actually don't think it will. Right? You have to understand, the first fight, I think Joyce massively underestimated Zhang. The fact that it was a voluntary defence tells you that. It tells you that because he was mandatory to USEC. Do you know what I mean? Why would you risk that? They thought they were going to do a demolition job on Zhang the first time round. They were believing the hype that he can't be knocked out. He can walk through everything and he can take punishment. But it just can't happen in the heavyweight division. Sooner or later, if you keep defending with your face, you're going to get put to kip or you're going to get stopped at some point. You can't keep taking big shots from the big men. And I think Joyce massively underestimated Zhang. Now, Zhang is a phenomenal fighter. He's an Olympic caliber boxer. He's a good boxer. He's big. He's a big unit. He's a hard man to defeat. However, I don't think you have to reinvent the wheel to beat him. I really don't. There's a lot of people saying Joyce can't adapt. He always has that style. He just plods forward and just throws punches, doesn't defend well. And yes, I understand that. And against smaller men, he can get away with it. And Joyce does tend to just try and walk you down. But there are times, the Dubois first fight, when he was fearful of the power, he had his guard up, right? And the jab won in the fight. Now, granted, the jab's not going to win him the fight against Zhang, because Zhang has a better jab, to be truthful with you. But Joyce doesn't have to do a game plan that you've never seen before. All he has to do is put the bloody guard up, put the right hand up, put the left hand up, stop getting hit with that straight left hand. He just kept getting hit with the left hand straight away from the southpaw stance. I don't know how much he prepared for southpaw last time. He came in lighter. I just think they got everything wrong, right? Now, I'm not confident. I'm not going to say that Zhang can't win this fight, but I'm not one of these people who thinks that Joyce can't win. I just don't believe that. If he was absolutely outclassed for every second of every minute, fine. But if you watch the fight back, yes, he was getting outclassed in the first 3 rounds, but as it was getting on, Zhang is an older fella. He was feeling it, right? And Joyce is old as well, but he's always been fit. You know, he's always had that engine. But Zhang was feeling it, and if Joyce can get this fight into the second half of the fight, right? If he can get it to the championship round, I think he could stop Zhang. I really do. The scorecards, disgracefully, Joyce was actually ahead. Now, I'm from the UK and I've got to admit I'm absolutely embarrassed. I'm ashamed how the judging scorecards how it's become in the UK. We turned into Germany and Italy. We used to go mad. We used to scream at the bad decisions. Matt Macklin, Felix Sturm, Martin Murray, Sergio Martinez. I think that was in Argentina. But there's been countless examples. Right, but the UK, I'm embarrassed to admit, have just turned horrific with hometown decisions. How on earth one judge could have given that to Joyce at the time of the stoppage is disgraceful. That tells you that they're going to try and give it to Joyce if he can last, right? And if the eye doesn't open up again or doesn't swell up, and if he can get through that, they'll try and give it Joyce. And I'm embarrassed to say that. What more can I say? It's whatever you want to call it, corruption, incompetence, whatever it is. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right in any country. It's disgraceful. I'm embarrassed. And I'm fearful that will happen, to be quite honest, because if it's close, they'll give it Joyce. But I think Joyce could stop him late on. I really do. As I say, if you watch the first fight, he was getting peppered with a straight left from the southpaw stance. Just put your guard up. You know, he doesn't have to completely change his game, right? And I think he was surprised how strong Zhang was, because I think he expected Zhang to box from the outside in the first fight. But if you watch straight away, Zhang claimed centre ring, and he was with that lead hand, with the jab, from the southpaw stance, he was really busting Joyce up. Now, I think Joyce will know that he just can't go straight in the middle and bully this man. He's going to know that, right? So I think he will try and outbox him to an extent. Now, I'm not saying he's Floyd Mayweather, but Joyce isn't as bad as he looks. He can't be. He's an Olympic caliber boxer. What, he won a bronze medal at the Olympics? You know, he went through the amateur system, and it is bizarre how he fights as a pro, but I think he's just been allowed to get away with it. He wasn't allowed to get away with it in the last fight. So this fight, I expect the glove to be glued to him, because if he doesn't, the same thing will happen, right? They're not stupid, these men. They'll have a game plan. I think he will put a lot of pressure on Zhang this time around, but it'll be educated pressure. It won't just be plod forward and throw hooks. I think he'll double the jab up, go to the body a lot. I don't think he'll headhunt as much. I think he'll go to the body, and that will slow the bigger man down. And if you keep going to the body over a sustained period of time, it will break you down. In the later half of the fight, that's where Joyce will thrive. He's got to get it to the later stages. And I think Zhang could be in trouble. You know, Joyce has still got that engine. He still puts that pace up. He can still throw a lot of punches, right? He just needs to defend, right? Just put your bloody glove up, my word, right? And he wouldn't know going into this fight, you can't just walk up to Zhang and bully him and push him back. It's not going to happen. Zhang is a quality operator. He's a slick boxer, right? He's a better boxer than Joyce. But Joyce can box, and you can mix that in with the pressure, but use educated pressure, not just walking forward. I think he can win this fight. My prediction. I've had a bit of a losing roll the last few weeks. Been a few that haven't gone my way. It frustrates me, it annoys me. Trust me, if you ask anyone who's around me, if I get something wrong, I can't be around people. I'm going mad. So I'm not going to, I wouldn't say bet your money on this, but I think Joyce will stop him late on or get a split decision or decision victory. I think he'll win the fight. I think Joyce will win this fight. Right, let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Who wins, Zhang or Joyce? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.